Hello everybody, this is my presentation for EdTech technology. Today I will be doing Google Read and Write. Um, just a quick tip too is this tool that you can see across my screen is called Snipping Tool. Most Windows have it, and it's kind of handy for recording your screens and manipulating stuff on your screen. I also have my camera up so you can kind of see what I'm going through, but for the most part I'm going to be using my screen. So I'll move my other stuff over here. First off, Google Read and Write is a Chrome extension, so you will have to download it and install it onto your computer. So best way to do that is go to Extensions, search for more, and then install it. Once it's installed, it'll look like a little puzzle piece here. So go ahead and click on that, and that'll open up across the top here. So you have all these cool buttons. First off, go to your settings. General settings will have, if you want your bar to be horizontal, vertical, transparent, or if it's kind of like the same color as the rest of your Chrome extension stuff. The next one you kind of want to look at is speech. Here you can change your voice from different voices they have. Play samples of them.
Hello, this is your new voice.
And I think I'll stick with Adam for my presentation here.
Hello, this is your new voice.
Okay, the translation, pretty much just read and write translation, so it enables them to be able to translate from whatever language you're putting in. Prediction text, this will show you, I'll show you where this is located later, but this to tell you how many results will predict for you. You can increase to 6, 7, whatever you're going to do, 5, if you want to pick different variables and stuff like that. Flexible spelling, predicted page, and stuff like that. So next you want to do is jump down to the talk and type. Talk and type will allow you to pick the languages that it will listen to. So if you speak in Spanish, and then it will translate it into English for you. So if your student speaks Vietnamese, Polish, Turkish, whatever language is available in here, which is almost every single language, and translate it into English. That way you can understand what they're saying if they need to have you ask you questions. Okay. The features down here. So this part will show you the features. Has a check it, prediction test, hover speech, dictionary. I'll go over a lot of these. I have my top 6 that I have, and also like a few honorable mentions that I want to show you. But this one will allow you to enable or disable some. So if you have students that don't need to worry about highlight, you can remove the highlighter bar and it drops it down off of here. But for some students it can be beneficial. So depending on what your student needs, you can kind of tailor it to what they want to do. Before we go further, accounts. So I do have this through my school district. Everybody in NMUSD does have it, access to it. I know special ed has early access to it, and they're still implementing it into some gen ed classrooms as well. It will cost a little bit, but there is a free version that you can get if you get it through the Google Chrome. Just have to sign in through a Google account. So let's get into my top 6. First one will be the reading prediction. The reading prediction line will be like in a document. So I have a presentation here that I've worked on a little bit. Just have some text here. So I want to say, hello, how are you? And up on the top here, it'll say, if you hover over it, it'll say prediction. Click on that. So it says, hello, how are you? And then it can kind of come up with these examples. How are you going? How are you going to be in or on? You can also start typing stuff. So hello, how are you going to be to, and then can't remember how to spell tomorrow. Well, it shows it for you. It puts it up. So tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, has all sorts of options for that. With the predictive tool, you can create topic selection from where you want it to choose from the page that you're working on, document you're working on, or past documents. It can actually look at a lot of your Google documents that you have saved, and we'll be able to kind of predict what your type of writing style would be. The next one would be, it's two of them kind of in one. It's the similar thing, but they're just a little different. One is a dictionary. So right now at the top it has a little dictionary button, and if I want to click on terrible, it will give me the definition. So it says adjective, very bad quality, the stakes were terrible. Okay? Now, if I can also click on the one next to it, which is the picture dictionary. And for my district, we have a lot of kids with AAC devices that can use their pictures on an iPad to generate speech for them. So students that are unable to speak have it. We use a program called ProLoQ. And if you notice, a lot of the images that they have on the ProLoQ app on their iPads are pretty similar as far in terms of graphics. So if they can kind of figure out what this graphic is by clicking on a word. The next one is our play button here. So this play button will start reading from wherever your cursor is. So if I want to put my cursor here and then click play.
Today's presentation will be short. We will be able to have lunch early.
Pause.
Hello, how you are going to be tomorrow? Benefits of ed.
And then stop. So when you hit stop, it enables all the other ones. Because when it's playing,
Terrible.
it doesn't let you edit or do any other options. Okay? So with that, it does work on websites as well. So if I want to go to, let's go to our EdTech website here. Our library, sorry. I searched for EdTech at our library. And if I want to know what the title is, I can click it here with my play button.
Skip to results page.
Sorry. Go back to this one. So on this part, we can kind of highlight this part and hit play.
ProLoQ. Icon languages. Available in 4 languages. ProLoQ 2 Go features over 100 free natural-sounding voices in English, Spanish, French.
So that enables your students to be able to have websites read to them, documents read to them. So if you have a presentation, whether it be writing or anything like that, it can read it to them and make things more accessible. Okay, we're going to go now to the screen masking. So for a lot of my younger students that we have, the screen masking kind of helps hide certain things. So before we go to it, let's go to our settings again. In the settings functions, where we have screen masking here. So it's already selected. You can choose how thick or how narrow the band is that's blocking out the other words. So once I'm done with there, I'll do that, and I'll click back here where it says screen masking. Okay, this will help the kids kind of stay focused on what they're doing. So rather than saying today presentation and then they jump the lines or do something like that, this helps kind of keep their eyes focused, and it can kind of block out some of the other lines so they don't get distracted. I find that pretty good. It works well for a lot of my students that are early readers and struggling to read as well. And then next one is the talk to type. So right here, the little microphone says talk to type. So there's different ways while using this. Okay, there's different ways using it. You can do translate while speaking. So if I click on the translate while speaking, oh, it's doing the text already down here, as you can see. Click on translate. I can say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Oh, click on there. And it translates. So if you notice here, it translates for me. It says, how are you doing? So it translates my Spanish into English. It can do that for students. So if there's a student you don't know, if they're a new student, a language you are not familiar with, you can have them speak to it, and they can communicate to you what they're asking or what they need. With this too, it has regular talk to type. So students that have a hard time typing or writing can simply talk, and it, as you can see, writes out what they're saying. So this is good for a lot of our students for their final drafts of small papers that they're going to write, or even just short answers for certain tests. And then big stop button here stops it from recording. And can get rid of that now. And then the next one that is pretty good right here is in the center, the translator. So the translator can type stuff from English. So if I want to say terrible, and if I want to see it in Vietnamese, it will say it in Vietnamese for me. Currently it does not say
Terrible.
the translated word form, but it will spell it. It will write it out so they can see it. You can choose many different languages. So we can do Danish. And then select it. Sometimes it doesn't always work. So let's try and check. So let's do tomorrow. Go ahead.
No valid word selected.
Try one more time. Let's pick a different language again. Even the best of us have little hiccups every now and then. So let's do Polish, see if that works. See if we can select a couple words. Hello, how are you? So it changes it to Czech or to Polish, sorry, and it'll say what we need to say. So if you need to talk to a student, say, after you figure out what they're saying, you can kind of play it. There it is. Now,
Witam, jak się masz?
so depending on the language, it will tell you, read it to them as well, or say it out loud. I did have a couple honorable mention ones. The highlight one is a good, is good for the older students. I have 6th graders I work with as well. We do some vocabulary words. Most of the books we have are already highlighted, but if you're doing something from the internet, like a web page, it'll actually, you can click there, and then you can do the same thing and highlight certain things on the website. And there we go. So now it's highlights here. Highlight that. Okay. And the other one was the web search. So if you're in, say, a document here, you can say, let's pick a word out of this. Let's stick out, let's say Los Angeles Dodgers. Spell check. So Los Angeles Dodgers. So if we do highlight, and then we click on the globe, which is over here. So it'll do a web search. I click on that, it'll bring up the Dodgers information. Current game, they won, which is always awesome. It'll give us news, highlights, all sorts of things, their official website, other information. So you can do that with just about any word that you're curious about or any information. I hope this has been very beneficial for you. I know EdTech can be kind of finicky sometimes, as you saw today, but this is a really good tool. It helps immensely with translations, with making access to students. So I hope you are able to use this, and have a good day.